Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is NonRevSims and welcome to another Sims 3 speed build. If you've been subscribed to me for a while, then you know I haven't done a speed build in like 2 years. That was the last time I uploaded a speed build video. You can go watch that. I'll have a playlist of all of my old speed builds in the top right and in the description. But yeah, it's been a minute. I've been doing builds off camera as well as recording some of them. I just haven't had the time to actually edit and get those uploaded, but today I have one here. I had the time. I was super excited about this build and I wanted to share it with you guys, so here we are with these. I do have 2 more speed builds coming out sometime soon. One will be towards the end of this month, which I'm super excited about because it's something super secretive and special, and you guys are gonna have a good time watching those videos. The second one is actually, I guess, a part of this video. This house that I'm currently, or it's a townhouse apartment. This house that I'm currently building is for my Sims 3 Perfect Genetics Lepacy. If you aren't familiar, I put up a current household a few months ago. That is my Perfect Genetics Clark Lepacy that I play off camera. I'm currently building, in this video, I'm currently building the Generation 4 townhouse / apartment for the late night generation. And the other video I have is for Generation 3, it's their Ambitions house. And I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, girl, Generation 4, what do you mean? Generation 2 is still a toddler technically. I just haven't had the time to edit. I have a current household for Generation 2. I just haven't had the time to edit that video, and I really do need to. So I'll try to find some time to do that. This video was super quick. Speed builds are always way easier for me to edit than normal current households because I have to find screenshots and do this and do that. But yeah, besides the point. Anyway, this is a house that I'm building for Generation 4, and if you follow me on Twitter, which if you want to see who Generation 4, my Sims for Generation 4 are, you can head over to my Twitter. It's just NonRevSims. It's linked down in the description. I put up a photo of the twins who will be taking over Bridgeport for our late night generation. If you don't want any spoilers, don't go there. I mean, there aren't many spoilers. It's just you'll see who our heir is for Generation 3 and Generation 4. But yeah, I do plan on updating you guys with a Lepacy household, so don't fret. Those videos will come when I can find some time to edit them. But like I said, we are building a late night apartment / townhouse. It functions as an apartment with late night, and that is one of the packs you'll need. Obviously, the remaining packs you'll need, what did I use to build? I used World Adventures, Ambitions, Outdoor Living, and then Late Night. I do also have a few stuff packs enabled, but I didn't use anything from those other stuff packs, so nothing should be missing if you don't have those stuff packs. But Outdoor Living you need for the fire pit. If you don't have it, it'll just replace it, which is fine, but it might be ugly. But anyway, like I said, this is a townhouse. It is called the Avenue, and it is basically just one big build with 4 different townhouses on one lot. That's all it is. I did set it up using the late night apartment markers, so it will function as that. Also, it's going to be very cheap because you're only paying for the space that your sim occupies. So all of these, the only thing you're paying for is the active area, which is it's not very small, but it's small compared to the massive lot. But yeah, the way I have it set up, your sim will live in the, I think I just finished building it. Your sim will live in the second townhouse, so the one with the brown and the wood. They will live in townhouse number 2. I put the mailbox in there as well as the call box, so you'll be able to see which one it is once you get in there. Honestly, you'll see it when we do the little video walkthrough at the end. I do plan on doing a walkthrough instead of photos, just because the build is empty, so you won't really know what you're looking at. So we'll do a video walkthrough at the end, and I'll show you guys all around the house and all that stuff. But before we get into things, really quickly, the way I have it set up is that this house has 3 bedrooms and a study, and then 4 bathrooms. But there are so many rooms and so many different ways you can do the floor plan for this house, which I like. Again, it's unfurnished, so you can knock down any walls you want, fix it around. But as it is for my Sims, I plan on using this as a 3-bedroom plus a study house with 4 bathrooms. But there's lots of space, I'm telling you guys. When we do the walkthrough, I'll show you guys how many different ways you can configure this, because it's actually crazy how much space your Sims will have for a very, very cheap price. I think off the top of my head, the price is around 15,000 to 16,000 simoleons, so it's very affordable. But again, it is unfurnished, so keep that in mind. I will talk about the download instructions a little bit later, but included in the download instructions, I do have a CC list, just because this build is pretty CC heavy for it being just an unfurnished shell. But there were some things, again, I'll talk about this a little later, there were some things I definitely had to use build CC for, because otherwise it would look ugly. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah, before we get into the download instructions and all that good stuff, I did want to say that this house is actually kind of like a redo or updated version of the very first videos I ever uploaded here on YouTube. And the videos that you see as my first videos are not actually my first videos. The ones that are my first videos are hidden because it's terrible audio, it's terrible builds, like it's bad all around. But my very first videos were a speed build of this townhouse called the Edison. I will try to leave a screenshot up so you guys can see what they look like. And then I also put up a screenshot of what this build looks like, so you can see how much they look alike, even though I used 2 different reference photos for them. But yeah, I built this townhouse called the Edison. It was massive, it was a lot. It was a lot to build, it was a lot to furnish, and I actually can't believe I did that as one of my very first builds. Really crazy. Like, building apartments in The Sims 3 is not very easy, and for me to do one of my first builds as a massive townhouse was absolutely insane. It actually doesn't function too well, which is why I probably won't ever post a link to download it, also because a majority of the CC I used in there, I have no idea of where I got it from, and I probably uninstalled it from my game anyway, so you probably will never ever be able to download that unless I can find a version where it isn't furnished. But like I said, it is based off of the Edison, and yeah, it was just overall a good time going down memory lane, seeing how closely I could make this floor plan to the original. All right, now let's get into this build. I'm not sure. Oh, I was trying to put a platform in and it just didn't work, and it was a mess. I'm glad I didn't end up doing it, just because it would have looked dumb. But I typically like to build my houses on foundations anyway, so I was trying to squeeze that in, but it was not working, and I was like, let me just take this out, and I'm glad I took it out. But in a bit you'll see I kind of jump around a little bit, because while I was building, sometimes I would stop recording when I got too indecisive, and I was like, oh, they don't need to see me struggle over wall coverings or like flooring. So I would stop recording, and then I would forget to hit record again once I made up my mind. So the entire backyard, I did that all off camera unintentionally. There's a lot of stuff I accidentally left out just because I would forget to start hitting record, so I do apologize. But at some point soon you'll see me put up some debug lights, and for some reason every time I moved my sim into the apartment, like while I was playtesting it, every time I moved my sim into the apartment, these debug lights would disappear, which is not good because, like I said, this is apartment number 2, so technically the only sunlight you're gonna get is from the windows in the front and the back. The apartments on the left and the far right have windows all along the side, so they definitely get a lot more sunlight, but this one is in the middle just because I like this one a little bit more, so this one won't get as much sunlight. So if you do decide to download this, make sure you put the debug lights back in, especially in the hallway upstairs, like the landing area, just because it gets so dark. I don't know if it's because of the half walls or what it is, but make sure you put these debug lights in. I did put in some base game lights just so you could have a reference point as to where the debug lights will go, in case they don't show up for you, but definitely get those in so your house isn't too dark, because it was really dark when I first went into playtest. So yeah, make sure you get that. And if you would like to get your hand on this house and furnish it up the way you want to, or decorate it however you want to, there will be a download link in the description. Now you guys should be very thankful, because anytime I build, I normally I don't even know what I ever do with the file. I normally, once the video goes up, I either delete the house or just move on or move my saves to somewhere else, and I just lose the file. So this time I made it my mission to make sure I had it uploaded. I knew all the CC, I linked it all. So I'll have a text file with all of the instructions on how to install this house, some instructions on how to edit it if you've never edited a townhouse or apartment in The Sims 3, and then where I got all the CC and store content from, which there is quite a bit of store content in here. I think there's like five items of store content, which it is linked in the text file. If you don't have those, it will obviously be replaced, but just so you know, these items were used when I was building. And then there is quite a bit of build CC, like I mentioned earlier, just because the non-active apartments, I wanted them to have patios and balconies, but I didn't want to put a door there just because it would make things complicated with the NPC doors. So I used a window that looks like a door. Honestly, if you look at the active apartment, the window and the doors look the same as the non-active apartment, even though they're actually windows. I did want it all to look pretty uniform, so I did have to use CC in that case, just because typically when I build, I use a lot of stuff from University Life, and with my Lepacy, I can't use University Life until I get to the University Life generation, so I couldn't use the normal windows and doors that I like to use. At University Life came with some really, really good build and buy items, and I couldn't use it, so it sucked. Also, I will mention that the pavement in the front, you'll see it when we do, I don't think I showcased it in the video, but I used the little spray on outdoor paint flooring in the front so it could match the sidewalk. I believe there was one version that came with either Showtime or University Life. I'm not sure which one it came with, but if you have Showtime or University Life enabled, you can replace that paint with the CC paint I used. So again, I'll talk about it when I do the walkthrough, so you're not completely clueless, but I did use a CC version just because, like I said, I don't have Showtime or University Life enabled, and one of those came with the sidewalk paint that matches, so you could spray paint your grass to look like sidewalk. I'll talk about that a little later, again, once we do the walkthrough. But yeah, keep that in mind if you have those packs enabled. All right, I think I talked about everything there is to talk about. But like I said, in that text file, please read it. All of the instructions will be in there. All of the cheats you need to either edit or delete some walls are in there. Like if you want to change apartments, which you can do, because I did frame everything in the non-active apartment. So if you ever wanted to swap, if you don't want to use apartment number 2, you can use apartment number 3 or 4, whichever floats your boat. If you do want to swap it, you will need to turn on some cheats. Again, if you haven't built with late night apartments yet, those sheets are already in there for you. It's super easy. Just remember to move all the globes, keep your grid on, and all of that good stuff. I think I talked about everything there is to talk about as far as this build. I'm going through my list to see what else. But from store content, I used technically 4 different things from the store. So the things I use from the store are there's a fence I use in the front of the house that's from Roaring Heights, and then you'll see the bushes in the back that are connected to the fencing. That's a shrub fence. That's also from Roaring Heights. Those stairs, the L-shaped stairs, are from the Prism Art Studio. I use these lights on the outside of the apartment complex, like they're above the doors. Those are from the mid-century modern bathroom collection. And then there's some flowers that are in the backyard. They're called the hibiscus with pink flowers. Those are from Sunlit Tides. I only use 4 different sets from the store, so those you can easily get. I think right about now we are starting to do the landscaping, which I've recorded a majority of this, which I don't know why, because this is what I struggled on the most. Like, besides the build was relatively easy, besides the backyard, which I came up with by myself. Landscaping this was the hardest thing ever. I was trying to go minimal with it, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to see what worked. Like every few minutes, you'll see me while I'm doing this, I'll like zoom out to see how it looks, and these shrubs just weren't working. I was like, this is a little too traditional for this modern house, which it actually came out more modern than I intended it to. I will post the picture that I used as a reference point. I didn't want it to match exactly, which it doesn't. I changed up a little bit of the colors and like the wallpapers and just some things, and I didn't want it to look as modern as that one, but I did really like the way it looked. So yeah, I didn't intend for it to be as modern as it is, but I do like the way it came out. It's really pretty. Also with my lighting mod, there's one photo in particular where like the wallpaper looks like a completely different color, but it's really cool and I love it and I'm just obsessed, and I'm super excited to get in and furnish this. If you guys want, when I do eventually furnish this for my late night generation, I can upload a video of myself furnishing this if you want to see that. Also, there are some other people who've asked to furnish it, and I'm gonna ask them maybe if they want to do a video of them furnishing it as well. That's more than welcome. The only thing I will say is that if you do decide to download this house, please don't re-upload it anywhere. Even if you furnish it yourself, don't re-upload it anywhere unless it's something I built and worked really hard on. I don't want anyone else re-uploading my creations. But feel free, you are more than welcome to decorate this house, to like demolish walls, make it whatever you want to make it for your own personal game. That's more than welcome to me. And if you do decide to put this in your game, please definitely tag me in pictures. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Tumblr. That's the only 2 social media I have, plus YouTube. If you want to send me an email, my email is listed on the about or the info section on YouTube. If you want to send me photos of your Sims playing in this house, that's cool too. I am on Tumblr and Twitter, and both of those usernames are just NonRevSims. If you ever want to show me what your Sims are getting up to in this townhouse, let me see how you decide to decorate it. I'll probably have to go in and furnish my house first, that way I don't get inspired or steal you guys' ideas on how to decorate this house. I do have a couple things in mind already. I'll probably have to do that before I look at you guys' creations. Okay, and then last thing, I did set up the flooring in what I, for my own personal save, consider the bathrooms. So you'll see that, like I said, move the walls however you want to. All right, I think the video, we're wrapping up things here. I think there is a few more minutes of build footage, but I'm gonna leave you guys with some music. I'll come back to you guys once the build footage is finished and we will tour the avenue together. And welcome back to the wonderful world of Bridgeport. So first things first, before we get into the tour, I did want to mention that I built this lot on a 40 by 40 lot. I forgot to mention that earlier, but it is 40 by 40. I built it over here on this lot just near the docks. I didn't like the way the lighting was back there, so I did move it, but this is where I built the original lot if you want to place it in Bridgeport yourself. But what I ended up doing and what I will do for my Sims, for my personal save, is I demolished the house that was here and I moved the Sims to this lot. This lot is empty, which you can use, but it has kind of a dip in the back, so it's kind of weird. But I moved these Sims out because I needed their lot. So that is what you can do as well, and this is where I placed it. Just keep in mind that if you do place this lot here, it will have this weird sidewalk area because this road is curved, so it doesn't line up really with the actual lot, which is unfortunate, but whatever. I did mention earlier in the video that I do have this sidewalk paint that does match the sidewalk. Like I said, I think it came with either late night or showtime where there is a paint that matches the sidewalk, but I don't have those enabled, so I had to go ahead and use CC. But let's go ahead and take a look at the apartment. There is a hill right behind where I currently am, so it might look weird, but this is what the front looks like. And I do have a lighting mod, and for some reason I think the sky is reflecting off of the paint because you can see some parts it looks blue, but that's the color. So I don't know why that looks blue like that because it's all the same color. I didn't change that color. But I think that's just a reflection. But let's go ahead and take a look. Like I said, there are 4 apartments. There's one right here. This is the second one. This is the active one. And then this is the last one. Technically, this is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. And this is number 4. But like I mentioned earlier, you do get the middle one. So you won't get the light from here, which if you put your Sims here, you'll probably get better light. But I like the middle ones better myself. All right, so for apartment 1 or apartment 4, you'll get a pool. They'll get a pool here. You can probably teleport your Sim here if you desperately want to use this pool, or you can build one on the other side yourself. This side does have a bigger yard though, so just keep that in mind. This apartment number 3, they have a nice little fire pit. I believe that's the one from Outdoor Living that I ended up using. This is your apartment number 2. This is your backyard. And then this is apartment number 1. They just have a little seating area. Again, you can probably use this if you teleport your Sim over here, but I don't know if I'd try that just in case it completely glitches out. Yeah, that's up to you if you want to do that. But here is what the back of the apartment looks like. I really like the way everything came out on this one, and again, I do apologize. For some reason I turned off the camera recording while I was doing this, and this was actually my favorite part to actually build. I love the colors that I went with and everything. It's really cool, really nice. I actually like the back more than the front. But I think that's because I freestyled on it. I got this idea from another Sims 3 builder here on YouTube. She's no longer active and I can't actually remember her name, but she did build this house a few years ago, and she did this like with the shrubs in between the fence, and I thought that was the coolest thing I had ever seen, and I was like, I need to use this idea, and I was so happy I finally got to use that idea. So shout out to her. And then here is the other side of the building, and that's all there is to it. All right, let's jump into actually see everything. So like I said, this is your front door, which technically both of these doors go to the same place, but here is the main entry hallway. Whoops, too far back. Here's the main entry hallway when you get in. Both apartments have a trash chute, there is the mailbox, and then there is the call box. You can only put one of each of these things in the apartment, so I put it on this side obviously because that's where you're gonna live. This is the non-active apartment. I put little rugs at each of the ones that are not active. You can throw your own in if you want to as a nice little welcome mat. Here we have my Generation 1 Sim Naomi. She tested out the Generation 3 house, and now she's testing out the Generation 4 house. This is the living room, or what I had set up as a living room. I didn't mean to pull the camera all the way back. Whoops. All right, this is what I have as the living room, or what I will use as the living room. It looks like this. I'll probably throw the TV up on that wall. I might put in a fireplace if I'm feeling fancy. Come through this way. This is right here. This area is what I imagined as the dining room, but I might make it the kitchen instead. All right, and then through this door you have the bathroom, well, one of the first bathrooms. I put the tiling there just so you know that I thought of it as a bathroom. And then over here was probably going to be the laundry room, but you can definitely, if you need the space, you can knock down this wall and turn this into one room. All right, you come out through this way. Like I said, this is what I had imagined as the dining room, but I might make it the kitchen. I'm not sure. Over on this side, you have the stairs that lead upstairs, obviously. And then this is the kitchen or dining room, depending on which one I end up making this room. But yeah, that's that. Let's come over here. Through this door over here is the study / what is going to be my Sims band room. This is where they're going to do all of their practices. Yeah, we're going to have a family band again. If you guys remember the Steel household, they had a family band. Anyway, come out through this way. This is the patio, which I'm probably going to put that swinging chair from the Sims 3 store. Probably going to put that back here, but there's lots of space. Your Sim can probably throw a grill back here. You can probably fit in a pool if you want, or the jungle gym if you plan on having kids live here. You can put lots of stuff. It's pretty big for an apartment or a townhouse. Sorry, this isn't a townhouse, not an apartment. All right, let's go back into the build and then head upstairs. You guys, every time I tell you, we got to put these L-shaped stairs in every build I do. Okay. All right, like I said, for some reason every time I have a Sim move in here, the debug lights disappear, and you guys can see here it is really dark in this hallway, and I am not sure why the debug lights disappear. Make sure you put them in. Yeah, they'll fit in there. All right, you come up these stairs. This first room right here is a bathroom, I believe. Yeah, okay. This was one of the bathrooms, and look at the view you have from your freaking bathroom. That's insane. Like, could you imagine living here? That's amazing. But yeah, this is the bathroom. Basic, da. All right, and then you go back out, which you saw the second bathroom. If you go through this room over here, the first room, this is another room. This functions as a window, but you can definitely put in a door if you want. But from here, you do have this massive balcony, so you can put more stuff there if you wanted to, but I have that as a window just because I didn't want to put too much CC. All right, and then this is the ensuite for this room, so this person can have their own bathroom. It's pretty small though, so that's that. All right, we're gonna go back out, and then you have another bedroom over this way. All right, super basic, no windows at all. This is probably the suckiest room because it has no windows, none. It's just a room. All right, and then finally, this is the primary bedroom, and this one is the biggest. You can probably, like over there, I was planning on maybe making that the study area, or you can close that off and make that like a nursery or something if you wanted to. But this room is the biggest. Through this way, you have a bathroom, which is a pretty normal size. Oh, I forgot to change the wallpaper in here. Okay, I'll have to do that before I get this uploaded. All right, the wallpaper is gonna match the ones in the other bathrooms as well. All right, and then through this way, this is the door right here, and your Sim has another balcony, but their view is just the rich people's house, so they can admire what they don't have. But yeah, that's the view from here. All right, so there you have it. That is the entire tour of this house. We can get a nice little floor plan view with my Sim in it. Whoops, okay, camera, hello. Thank you. Oh, you know what? Okay, well, real quick, I just wanted to show you guys. This is the other side. So this is apartment 3 and 4. This is their entryway. Basic, nothing much. They just have a trash chute. I think a Sim lives in one of these, actually. Let me see. No one lives there. Oh, a Sim does live there. Okay, well, I'll have my Sim go over and talk to him. Let's hit play. But let's go ahead and see the floor plan view. So this is what you're working with here. This is the first level. Can I zoom in? All right, there we go. And then upstairs, this is what we got there. There we go. See, look at how dark that hallway is. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. I don't know what's happening. And there you have it. This has been the speed build and walkthrough of the Avenue. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you do want to download this, like I said, all download links will be in the description. The instructions on installing and all the CC will also be included in the text file, so make sure you read that. If you download this, make sure you tag me in your photos if you use this in your gameplay, if you have your Sims live there or the neighbors, or just throw it in. I want to see what things your Sims get up to in this house. Also, if you do plan on decorating this, if you want, you can make a video of it, or you can just send me pictures. But like I said, please do not re-upload this house anywhere else. Even if you decorate it yourself, I would appreciate that very much. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you want to let me know your thoughts or comments, then you can comment down below, or tweet me on Twitter, or send me a message over on Tumblr. If you guys enjoy this type of content and want to see more, then make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next one.